Alright, here we go. Tales of the Abyss. My favorite of the Tales games. Tonight, I'm going to be demonstrating how all the characters play and showing off the Field of Phonon system in particular and how it's used in combos. Alright, let's get this show on the road. So, the first character I'm going to talk about today is Fon Mastery. Luke is everyone's favorite Tales protagonist, and no one has ever had any problem with him, even before he cut his hair. Without spoiling anything, is the heir of sorts to House Fabra.
Enemies.
And as the main character of the game, I think I could be justified in saying that I have the most experience with his combos over anyone else. So without further ado, his most basic art is Fangblade. That's used in setting up a lot of stuff. If you set up a wind field ahead of time, you can get what you just saw, Lightning Tiger Blade. It's pretty basic, but you can set up the fields there pretty easily and do some pretty good damage that way. You can also use Sonic Blast or Lightning Blade for setting up the wind field himself, and via your Fonslot cores. get into the slightly more sophisticated combos using these arcane arts. Slag Assault sets up an earth thing, field. You can follow that with Devil's Maw pretty easily. Devil's Inferno is really, really good because you can use it as the setup in a Field of Phonons combo or as the finisher. So there it's being used as a setup and following with Burning Havoc here. Now there is one that I typically have set up optimized for this, but I guess I didn't on the save file. So I'm going to set it up slightly differently. A little end from tier. So the way that Field of Phonons work is a given element is used as a source of power when you have a character on a given spot, and that character can unleash an empowered version of a given art with a given element. So here, they're set up wholly, not good, but can be used for both wind or fire. Set up Light Blast in this case, and that did some pretty good damage there. Devil's Inferno? Oh, okay. Well, battle's over already. Shadow Fury is a great combo if you can juggle the enemy properly, but I mean, tend to resist that kind of thing. So, this first Mystic Art is pretty standard. Oh, did it die? Well, the thing that got carried away, that didn't go so well. Oh well. Light Blast is also really good for building overlimit meter. Oh, Mook is dead. Well. I guess we'll move on to our next character for the time being. Next up is Mysterica, nickname Tyr Grants. She's the younger sister of Vandastelka Grants. She is of the Oracle Knights division, and we won't talk too much about that, but... She's intended as a caster, healer character with mostly light spells, but she's very good at offensive spells, and she can set up her own combos for her non-spell things, like this. Similarly, Nocturnal... Oh, she killed it already. Okay. We should probably revive Luke. Checking on some technical stuff, huh? Okay. Interesting. There's a lot of people. Anyway, getting back to Luke here. Oh. Yeah, definitely getting back to Luke for a bit. Gonna have Jade drop a... Huh. Absolute here.
Damn it! Demonic boy! Rest in a merciless silver embrace. Sonic flash! Feel thunder! Lightning tiger blade!
Is our ice field still over there? Yes, it is. Good. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and... Oh, it's gone.
Light spear cannon! Light spear cannon! Piercing flash! Tiger! Meteor storm!
Alright, so Jade just overlimited for us, so I'm gonna show off something. Colonel Jade Curtis of the Malkuth Army. Hey, N-Words, how's it going?
Come forth, divine lightning! This ends now! Indignation!
Good old 40,000 damage. Get us back to showing off Luke. And let's have Jade drop another absolute real quick so we can get some water fields to work with.
I'm not doing too well. Rest in a merciless silver embrace. Light spear cannon! Who's next? Chill!
Probably won't get there, but... Uh-oh. Oh, died already.
I guess
Well.
we're done here.
Can I actually leave Guy at low HP to start this battle?
These guys are whipped.
Do something real quick. Guy is Luke's best buddy. He's actually from Malkuth.
Want to see how strong I really am? Prepare yourself for a blinding storm! Brilliant overlord! Never
His
fight
second
battle
Mystic
you
card
can't
is
win.
very strong. You can do it with almost no setup as long as you're at low health. Alright, so what of his good combos haven't I done yet?
Sonic thrust! Tiger blade! Devil's Inferno!
Devil's Inferno works both for setup
Bring it on!
so you can do something like this
Be gone! Burning havoc!
and chain that into a Mystic Art. Which is a pretty good chain into Radiant Howl because Burning Havoc tends to get a good spread of enemies.
Void!
I think that's most of what I wanted to show with Luke. So Tyr, I was getting to showing her a bit. So she's got your standard healing spells, which I do use, and there's all of these that are good. Judgment is good in its own right, I guess. But a lot of them take a long time to cast, and when you're on the higher difficulty levels, they can be a bit problematic to get enough time for. So Holy Lance is a good balance in that it takes some amount of time to set up, but not too much, and you get a good field of Fonon to work with for setting up future combos.
One must fight to live.
Nah, I'm actually pulling up an old save file just to showcase the game for people. Particularly looking at the Field of Fonon system, and why that sets the game apart from some of the others of the series. Alright, we got a good battle here.
This guy is a whip.
So, Tyr.
Don't get caught.
We've seen some of her spells, we've seen some of...
Divine spear, run my way.
Holy Lance is good for that one. You've seen
Burn to ashes.
Searing Sorrow is another one. She can set up with her own combos that get some pretty good DPS in.
Sonic Thrust!
Holy Lance, the power to conquer demons.
Fatal Circle. And Banishing Sorrow are probably my bread and butter. There's also Inlay Nocturne if you set up Dark Field somehow, but the other two are basically my bread and butter combos with her. And the best, probably the thing that's most distinct about Tyr from any other character, save maybe for Jade, is her mystic art that is kind of absurd. Fortune's Arc. So outside of occasional things that are weak to light damage, you'll never use Innocent Shine again.
Next. And grant divine protection of thy brilliance.
And not only does that do a ton of damage to every enemy on the screen, it also buffs your whole party and revives anyone that's dead. I think it does a little bit of healing. It's been a while, so I don't remember. Show some more to your boy. Abyss was notable at the time that every character could get up to 7 hits on their base combo if you use the capacity core enough to raise their stats. Up until then, you had Destiny 2, I guess, using its combo crystal system. You had Symphonia, where you could kind of get a couple extra hits on your combo if you really optimized stuff to a certain degree. Of course, later on you got Vesperia, in which Yuri's Fell Arm gave him like an extra 3 hits on his combo on the ability, and you added that to what? So he had a total of 9 hits on his base combo, and then he could use Shining Fang, which was one of the more broken juggling abilities in Tales history, in my opinion. And you could just use that and its arcane and altered variants to get ridiculous combo numbers really quickly. And while the altered arts via the element altering abilities was similar to the Field of Phonon system in a lot of ways in Vesperia, it didn't have quite the same level of strategy in setting up your own combos and stuff, like what chains into what. And that's something I feel like they really haven't equaled since Abyss. That's why this is my favorite Tales game still, probably, among other reasons. Alright, we showed a little bit of Guy earlier. He's almost more the prototypical Tales main character than Luke is, honestly. He's not quite as good as setting up his own FOF chains, because he doesn't have that many things that leave fields on the ground, but he's got a lot more speed in his attacks and faster animations than Luke, and the free run system is relatively broken in its first implementation. So you can very easily dodge things with Guy, and if you want, you can solo the game with him. And other than Luke, he's probably the heaviest physical hitter. and he's faster, so there's that. Let's get in a few more battles and show some more stuff.
Let's go beat you at the guards now.
So, I showed guys other Mystic Art earlier. It's another one that was actually did not make the cut in the original release of the game in Japan. They patched it in the Western localization. In the 3DS port of the game, it was still there in the Japanese. But it was something they hadn't quite finished yet when they released the game in Japan originally.
Rise in the flames of hell.
Guys, FLFs are pretty good if they have the opportunity there. It just requires a little bit more setup. Like, let's get Tyr in here real quick. That got us a holy field to work with. So let's do Beast. If you get that little bit of setup going, if you're playing co-op, good luck. You probably won't have that much coordination between people, but if by some chance you do find yourself doing that, and you can coordinate with the other person in the room to set up the fields like that, you can get some really good combos going with him, because his FLFs hit really hard. We've seen both of his Mystic Arts now.
Want to see how strong you really am? I'm not doing too well. Brilliant Overlord!
But there's Brilliant Overlord again, just for the heck of it. Until I have Annis in the party, I'm not particularly thrilled with setting up Darkfield, so I'm gonna start talking about Natalia. Natalia's a pretty good ranged character that can also do some amount of healing. Not quite as good as Tyr's healing, but very functional. She can hit pretty wide radius with Gallant Barrage. She can hit a lot of arrows at once with Storm Edge. First, she's got some good FLFs like everyone else, like most of the other characters anyway. I'll have to get fields set up to show them though, because she doesn't have many moves that drop her own fields. Alright, so alright, I overlimited.
Do not think you can escape me.
So, this is her first Mystic Art, Astral Rain. It's pretty simple. Does decent damage to a wide area. It's a decent finisher. It's nothing special on damage compared to some of the others. But, we had a good field to work with there. Someone is paralyzed. Ha! It is a great game. I have been thinking about doing a playthrough of it sometime on stream.
Piece of cake.
It's still my favorite Tales by a large margin. Probably after this, it's the Zillia games and Brazilia.
All right, let's go.
That's nuts. Healing circle.
Sometimes arrows leave something to be desired when you're trying to hit the aerial enemies, but here we go, we got a nice lightning field to work with for doing voltaic line. That's what it's worth. If you want, you can aim upward and that tends to give better results. Yeah, it's been a while. But her attacks don't have that quite as well. Blast Edge is also a good way to hit a lot of things at once. And then I've got, what have I got here? Strong Brace. I do not remember what that does. Nice, okay. Good anti-air thing. What else have we got here to work with? So cavalry is not particularly useful at this point because a majority of stuff doesn't do quite enough to knock me back, and I've got stuff in place as far as skills that prevent me from being knocked back in general. We've seen those ones. If you really want, you can get FOFs on her healing stuff, but that relies on having the field down, needing to heal, and other things. Just not other things, just those two things. What am I talking about? And then there's the auto revive thing, which is pretty nice. But for the most part, she's a very straightforward archer. The series hadn't done too many of those in 3D. At this point, when this game came out, and like Guy, Natalia had her original second Mystic Art only unlocked in the Western PS2 release of this, and subsequently all regions of the 3DS port. So, your second one here, you have to be using the Elven Bow, which is from Din's Shop side quest, which can be a bit of a doozy and RNG heavy. And then you use Piercing Line and you pull off Noble Roar. You get much better damage than Gallant Barrage.
Another slay.
You're a great help as always.
But I am heartened to have you with me.
Thank you.
Alright. So that's Luke Tier, Guy, Natalia. That leaves Jade and Annis. Forgive me, it's been a while since I did Jade on this. Jade has the most coverage of elements through his basic spells as the main offensive caster of the party. So in theory, that would mean he has the most means of kicking off his own combos, but since his stuff takes time, it's a little less consistent than that. But it's some stuff regardless.
O dark and storm cloud, loose thy blade and run mine enemies through. Thunderblade!
He also gets spells that will, without a question, just drop the higher level field right away. So that's good. And he has some stuff with his spear like this, Lightning Tempest. Obviously, he's not intended as a melee character, so that's not quite the right way to be using him, but it does work really well, for lack of a better term. Then we've got stuff like...
O sword of conviction, loose the might of your brilliant colors! Crimson sword!
Let's see what we can do with that. Well, didn't get it off in time. Oh well. Yeah. He's got a lot of cool spells. One of the more practical ones is this one here. Not for the amount of damage it does, but just for the number of hits it does and how quick it casts. You can fairly quickly get a decent number of hits in and build up your overlimit meter. Then from there, you can go into something. I don't know if I have the phone slots set up for this properly, so... Yeah, no. Okay. Well, we've got a fire field to work with. What can we do with that? Nothing in the things I actually have equipped. Fun. Okay, let's do something better. Let's get a... This is Tales of the Abyss, my favorite of the Tales series. A game on the PlayStation 2, and it got a port onto the Nintendo 3DS. So this system here, this caster I'm controlling, I'm going to give a good example of how this battle system works.
O dark and storm cloud, loose thy blade and run mine enemies through. Thunderblade!
For those new, if you see that green circle around me right now where I cast the spell, where the thunder blade hit, that is a field of phonons. Phonons are the technobabble of the 6 elements, basically. 7. The 7th phonon is special. They all have names, I've long since forgotten them, I apologize. But, in battle, these fields of phonons are apparent. Their role is that you can do things like this and empower yourself with an elemental approach to empower your next attack, and by doing that you can put useful combos together. So, for example, if I use this Ground Dasher spell and make an Earth Phonon field, assuming the enemy doesn't die before the spell goes off,
Shall we be on our way?
at least from the spell. Colonel Jade Curtis is most people's favorite character in this game. He is a colonel of the Malkuth army and close friends with the Emperor. just went backwards.
This looks like fun. That's right. Bring close the fate of the mighty dragon. Round
So we've got that handy earth field now. And I'm going to actually get it right this time and use a splash there and get... Oh, it's gone already. Great. Okay, let's do it this way. It's a little bit... What are you... Ah, I'm doing the wrong thing. I messed up. It's sideways. Okay. Let's try this again.
Get out of here! Oh, flames of hell, remake my enemies in a cage of fire!
It's not the right thing at all. Do I have anything I can use in fire? There we go. Oh. That's interesting. Do you mean from a combat standpoint or story? Most people like Jade the most for story purposes. Okay. Tyr is actually my favorite in combat, but Annis has Antlion Man, which is one of the most broken equipments in the game. And that is better than a lot of other things that people can do. What was I doing? Ground Dasher into something. Sonic Spear.
Hey, this is not good. Bring close the fate of the mighty dragon. Round dasher! Sonic! Sonic spear! A pulverizing
There we go.
pulverizing strike!
All the crushing spears. Earth everywhere. Good. What do I have on this? Thunderlance is there. Okay. Anyway, it's easy. It's much easier to use fields of phonons with things that you don't have casting times on. Just because you don't know how long the field's going to be there, you don't know that someone else isn't going to use it. Anyway. I think I talked enough about Natalia in combat. She is the princess of Kimlaska. Avoiding any spoilers there. And she and Luke were engaged when they were children. Jade. Okay. Alright. His first Mystic Art is Mystic Cage, which will do a ton of damage to everything on the screen.
What true power is.
I won't claim to be an expert at playing Annis by any means, but she does have access to both light and dark spells and melee attacks that can make use of any Field of Phonon stuff. We've got Earth Apparent, so let's... Stone Dragon Ascent is pretty basic. It's turning her Dragon Surge base art into a much stronger punch, much stronger uppercut, because it puts some earth in there.
Meteor storm! Oh, darkened storm cloud, use thy blade and run mine enemies through. Thunderblade!
Alright, there's thunder to work with. What are we gonna do with that? That's a spell. Or we can do this for funnies. Happy Light! I have no idea what that does, actually. First, I'm gonna drop a... that's not what I meant to do.
Eliminate mine enemies in a cage of fire. Infernal prison!
Oh. Well, that's over.
Oh, are you done fighting already?
Let's go ahead and use that. Alright, we've got a big dark field to work with. So...
Meteor storm! Bring forth the strength of the mighty dragon. Round statue!
Didn't have the targeting right. Unfortunate. Saw an opportunity, but didn't set it up properly.
Bring forth the strength of the mighty dragon. Thunderblade! The mighty brilliant color. Prism sword!
Well, didn't have that in the right place.
Eliminate mine
There we go, Spark Wave. Properly executed Spark Wave even.
That wasn't too bad.
Ready, everyone?
Jade's second Mystic Art. I feel like I may have used it earlier, but just in case I didn't, it's a traditional spell in the Tales series for the most casters to have. Really strong thunder spell.
Alright, so that's the water. Still out to find enemy.
That singing you hear is from Tyr. Some of her spells are in a class of the Grand Phonic Hymn, which is a song sung in prophecy, I guess, by Yulia. Man, it's been a while.
Lose the might of your brilliant colors. Prism sword.
Can I use this somehow? Yes. Happy light. Alright. So Annis is cool in that she's kind of a flex character that can do both melee and casting. Probably more adaptably than any other character.
Let's do this.
And then let's get to talking about her Mystic Arts.
That's enough.
First, she's got a basic one, Final Fury, which is one that's been used in the series for quite a while before her.
Let's finish this. Not done yet.
And then she's got the extension to it, which is Dying Moon, to punch something even more. She has another that I don't use too much that I'm going to try and use here.
Just for you. Oh, everlasting God of light. Here, the cry of the dragon. Revolve. Done without. Retire.
overlimit ready so we can show.
Fun my enemy. I'm first with Mona. Holy land.
What? So I thought that was how you use that.
For flames of hell, cremate mine.
What? Why did that not happen? Oh, full HP. Okay. Let's fix that.
Infernal prison!
Go away! Oh my god. Okay. There we go. Let's throw all the money at them. We're literally throwing money at them. We just spent 20,000 gold. And that's her last overlimit.
O roar of the earth, bring forth the fangs of the mighty dragon.
There's one overlimit one Mystic Heart I still haven't shown here. And I will get to that. I have one main playing is the begun.
Demolishing melody, arise in the name of the necromancer, Mystic Cage. Now know what true power is.
Leave it to me. Yellow Rod. Stormhead.
Earth, bring forth the
Oh, fragments of the bone burst heed my
Oh.
call and become power incarnate.
Mystic Heart, and not Field of Phones.
I will finish you. Another slay.
So these bridges are
You are no match for me.
what was it again? Made with Fumicry, for lack of a better term. Fumicry is the use of the phonons to replicate something, effectively making an exact copy. And it has been applied to living beings in this game's story. And there are some implications of that that we won't talk about.
Laser. I'm in trouble here. Piercing rod. Starstruck enough.
Begin. O light that rains down on heaven and earth, bring my enemies to their destined annihilation. Fortune. And grant me the protection of thy brilliance. Burn to ashes.
Searing Sorrow. Good job, kid. Good job.
Oh, are you done fighting already?
And we're healthy. Alright,
You want to fight?
our party has one more non-combat member,
I'm first.
who I will subject you to the vocal
We'll flame the
chords of in a moment.
Ravaging tragedy. Final fury. Let's finish this. Not done yet. Dying moon.
I keep forgetting to put Luke back in the party.
We'll roar the earth to bring forth the fangs of the mighty dragon. Take.
Another earth move I have here. No, there is not.
Oh!
Single punch.
Rise, O violent waters, to rout mine enemies.
There was, however, another ice one.
O darkest storm, loose thy blade and mine enemies.
Basically adds water to that attack.
Soaring pass.
Farewell.
Colonel, you're so cool.
It's not a cat.
Absolutely flawless. Yeah, I'm a genius. Soaring cloud. Storm
O flames of hell, cremate mine enemies in a cage of fire. Infernal prison.
Nor is it a Pokemon.
Leave it to me.
O sword of conviction, loose the
Yellow
mighty
cloud. Do not think you can escape me. Pour forth, O starlight. Another slay.
Alright,
Our victory was assured.
now let's remember to put Luke back in the party. And also, that, my dear friends, was Mew. Mew's a little guy, a Cheagle, a little beast which is considered sacred in the Order of Lorelei, and he has a little sorcerer's ring around him that lets him speak, for better or for worse. It also lets him do these special abilities which you use for solving puzzles. The fireball is obviously used for lighting torches and stuff. You can also use it for hitting enemies and stunning them in the field. Attack, I think, also can outright kill enemies in the field. Ah, man, there's this one puzzle where you have to, like, reflect a fireball off 3 different mirrors, and it's, like, incredibly difficult to line it up exactly right. Good times. And then there's Wings, which lets you fly up to high places.
I'll destroy you.
Steel. Severed fate. Severed
O
fate.
sword of conviction, loose the might of your brilliant colors. Prison sword. Ready,
Storm Edge.
prepare yourself.
Starstroke.
The power to conquer demons.
O admonishing melody, arise in the name
Yep,
of the
I am in fact max level.
mystic cage.
This is on the unknown difficulty setting, so it's very good that I'm at the max level. I would be dying a lot more.
Rest in a merciless silver embrace. Absolute death inferno.
Ah, that ruined it.
Laser. Gallant Rod.
Chill. O flames of hell, remake my soul in the cage of fire. Infernal prison. Death inferno.
Divine spear, rend my
Feel
enemies.
the pain.
Shadow. Holy Lance.
And that failed miserably.
I feel nothing for my enemy.
Oh yeah, it totally is. Were you doing like 1 damage to stuff? Yeah.
I
I wish these difficulty settings in games like this would do more than just alter enemies' stats. Like, I know Fire Emblem also does that, unfortunately, but I wish they had a setting that, like, only did the things, left the stat numbers alone, and maybe made the AI more complex, or... because that, to me, is much more interesting from a difficulty standpoint than just inflating some numbers. Anyway.
Sonic Thrust! Devil's Inferno! Thunderblade! Feel the pain!
Everlasting fire alarm.
Piercing Flash! Light Flash!
Oh, celestial fire,
Sword of
light,
Conviction!
redemption.
Loose the might!
Persona 4 Golden
Light Spear Cannon!
had some settings like the strength of enemies, the strength of you, the amount of experience you got,
Light Flash!
the amount of gold you got. That was
Light Spear Cannon!
all really nice, honestly.
Piercing Flash! Light Flash! Infernal Prison! Light Spear Cannon! Feel the pain! Shadow Fury!
Yeah, when one of my friends played Luke, he really liked Shadow Fury, but that combo is so inconsistent. I'm just gonna not use that,
Devil's Inferno! Meteor Storm! Be gone!
and instead use Burning Havoc, which is just good damage. Maybe not as cool looking or as full of a combo as Shadow Fury can be, but much more consistent. I played this co-op with some of my friends, and it's a blast when you get everything working
This looks like fun.
with the PS2 multi-tap and everything to plug in multiple controllers.
That's right. Take this. Arise, O violent waters, who rout mine enemies.
Begin. Oh, light
Ooh,
that
this is
brings
gonna
down
accidentally
on
heal
heaven,
Luke,
bring
I
my
think.
enemies to their destined annihilation. Fortune's open. And grant
Trying to get his HP low
brilliance.
to show one more Mystic Art here. Yep, he's at full. Oopsies. Well, this is unknown, so enemies will deal a ton of damage quickly. Like that.
Stay focused.
I'll get him next time.
There we go, almost low enough.
Piercing Flash. Blessed Drop. Light Flash.
No, don't heal me, Tyr.
Brilliant colors. Prism Sword.
Trying to get really low on HP.
Piercing one. There's no escape.
Oh, countless falling stars come forth. Burning Havoc.
Raging Havoc is one of Luke's most basic arts.
Spear Cannon. Farewell.
You can use it in a lot of combos.
Take this. Light Spear Cannon.
Chains well into just about anything.
Piercing Flash. Light Flash. The flames of hell remake my enemies in a cage of fire.
A judgment of holy fire.
Nice.
Blast
Alright.
That wasn't too bad.
cool. Thanks for swinging by. Follow. I'll probably be... Yep. I'll probably be doing a full playthrough of this at some point if you want to... Thanks. There's also a Discord link on there. No, Tyr, you healed me. Alright. Gonna have to boot Best Girl out of the party for a second. She keeps healing me when I'm trying to get low on HP. First world problems. Healing save point. Wait, oh god, I just did that to myself. So, our friend Mew in action. Oh, that did not go well at all.
Let's go! Tiger!
I also have to refill the overlimit gauge anyway. But there are now no healers in the party to heal me. So in theory...
Be gone!
Alright, we're getting there. So, if you do that, you can get a preemptive attack. Oh, we were a few seconds late, I guess. Almost there.
Looks like we're still okay.
Alright, nope. Just barely over 15%. There we go.
Bring it on!
What? Why is it? There we go. The weapon you see him using there is called the Key of Lorelei, empowered by the Jewel of Lorelei. Lorelei is basically God. And by equipping that, and various other spoilery story stuff that I won't get into, Luke can do that kind of attack. probably put the healers back in the party.
Wimps. They'll still beat you if your guard's down. Tempest!
The full light of the heavens command thee, who opens the gates of hell. Come forth, divine lightning. This ends now. Indignation!
Sword right over! Lightning blast! Sword right over!
Mighty dragon.
Using this. There's no escape!
Countless fallen stars.
Sword right over! Sword right over! Sonic, sword right over! Field! Sword right over! Sword right over! Sword right over! Nothing personal.
Some inkling of the kind of puzzle you regularly have to solve in this game with new fire, reflecting fireballs off mirrors and such. But yeah, Mew is the mascot character. Luke is someone he's very indebted to. And Luke is not, you know, the most responsible pet owner. So, yeah. Oh yeah, this puzzle without a guide is utterly nuts, and this particular one, at least. There's one in this one icy area where you have to bounce a fireball off 3 mirrors. They all have to be positioned perfectly. You have to get a fireball like all the way down a long corridor. And to do that, you have to bounce it off 3 mirrors. And that is just, you have to try it so many times because it has to be lined up so perfectly, and, you know. That one's also kind of a pain, but this is a game that I cannot sing the praises of enough. It's so well done in absolutely every way. I mean, anyway, I've actually covered a majority of what I wanted to show here tonight. So, we're gonna head to the arena real quick, just for fun. Oh, I don't have wing bottles. Well, in that case, take the fast way out by loading another save file, because I don't have wing bottles to escape. And I don't care. Everyone's already max level. had some weird moments. You have to be at full speed to get through certain thunderstorms, whirlpools, etc. It's like a little force field, sort of, that counterbalances stuff like that. But we're just gonna autopilot because I'm lazy. This is Baticool. Luke's hometown, sorta. It is a pretty big place. We are headed to the Coliseum. No, not that. Yay, we don't have to pay an entrance fee. So this is a little battle arena. Whee! Tales of the Abyss was the first game of the series to truly let you run around freely in battle. Previous games, you could only run on a line, or you could run on multiple lines, or you could run on the line to an enemy. But this was where the linear motion battle system, as they called it, was updated to the Evolved Flex Range linear motion battle system. No, Evolved Flex Range was what they called it in Vesperia, sorry. Flex Range was what they called it in Abyss, where you can just run around freely if you feel so inclined. And just complete. And the enemies, honestly, are not really ready for you to be doing that, so.
Oh, divine spear, run my enemy through. Holy lance. The power to conquer demons. Fatal circle.
Don't get up!
Oh, divine spear, run my enemy through. Holy lance. Burn to ashes. Searing sorrow. Severed fate. Severed fate.
I'm done with you.
Severed fate. Oh, divine spear, run my enemy through. Holy lance.
No!
The power to conquer demons. Fatal circle.
No! We missed again.
Severed fate. Severed fate.
Don't get up! Eat this!
Severed fate. Severed fate.
Let's make pizza. Severed Fate is a... You've seen its range. It's you throw the daggers down in front of you and make a little magic circle. But yes, it's at a particular range. She has other knife-throwing attacks. She is primarily a caster, but she's got some really good stuff that is outside of that. She's intended as a healer, but she's got so much good offensive stuff that she's my favorite character. So this is the level from Hell, where you fight 8 birds from Hell, and they are really annoying because they get invincibility frames when you knock them down, and they outnumber you 8-1, and it's unpleasant all around. So we're just going to say none of that nonsense and throw a Fortune's Arc at them. And now they'll all die in one hit. Is he not in the attack? Oh man, they're calling for more. That's right, they call for reinforcements. That's why 8 seemed low. Nope.
The power to conquer demons. Fatal circle. Next. The power to conquer demons. Fatal circle. Next. Severed fate.
There we go.
We're all right.
So that's the hardest fight of this arena. So, semi-auto. There are 3 types of battle you can set for a given character. There is manual, where you have to know ranges like that yourself. There's semi-auto, which will not start jumping until you're at the right distance to use that, to do the attack, which is what you're on most of the time. And there is auto, which I guess you might leave something on if you're grinding and wanting to auto battle, or that's what the AI characters are on at an even time. The series has also always prided itself in having co-op, in that a person on the second player controller can play one of the other characters. It tends to be a little weird when you get into stuff like where the camera is when you're in co-op, but for the most part it works very well.
Oh, divine spear, run my enemy through. Holy lance. The power to conquer demons. Fatal circle. That's enough. Begin. O light that rains down on heaven and earth, bring my enemies to their destined annihilation. Fortune's Arc. And grant us the divine protection of thy brilliance. Severed fate. Severed fate. Severed fate.
Left myself open there.
Severed fate. Severed fate. Severed fate.
There we go.
It's over.
I did play quite a bit of this, though. More than any other Tales game, I think. Alright, semifinals.
Prepare. Severed fate.
We have a dinosaur that punches.
Severed fate. Severed fate. Severed fate.
Okay. We're back in business.
Severed feet. Severed feet. Severed feet. That's enough. Begin. O light that rains down on heaven and earth, bring thy enemies to their destined annihilation. Fortune's arc. And grant us the divine protection of thy brilliance. Severed feet. Severed feet. Severed feet. Severed feet.
There we go.
It's over.
We're gonna make another pizza and eat the whole pizza. Alright, so if I remember this right, we're actually at an advantage in this last fight based on character choice, because he's weak to light, and
Prepare.
he also moves slowly, so
Divine spear, run my enemy through. Holy
he
land.
has one ranged attack.
The power to conquer demons. Fatal circle. Oh, divine spear, run my enemy through. Holy lance. The power to conquer demons. Fatal circle. Oh, divine spear, run my enemy through. Holy lance. Spot.
Go over there while I go over here and heal.
Oh, healing melody of divine mercy. Oh, divine spear, run my enemy through.
Oh crap, that was his ranged attack, we mostly missed.
Severed feet. The power to conquer demons. Fatal circle.
He's got a bit of punch to him, definitely. It's been quite a while.
Severed feet.
There we go. Alright, we won.
One must fight to live.
And we're gonna make another pizza for victory. Alright. Victory Pizza is indeed the best pizza. Anyway, that's about it for showcasing, I think. I showed every character's missed cards. I showed the Field of Phonon system. I showed wandering around the world map. I showed the lovely, cute mascot character Mew. And I showed the arena and a little bit of this world with a little bit of story insights without any spoilers. So I think that's about it for tonight. I will be back with the regularly scheduled Final Fantasy IX tomorrow, and probably with something to showcase next Saturday, and then probably a full playthrough of this on stream someday. So, have a great night, folks. This was fun to play again. As always, if you're not following, follow if you want to see notifications. There's a Discord link on the page if you want to hear more about stuff and talk about games with people. Anyway, have a good night all. Adieu.